Hollywood has always looked glamorous on the outside, but behind the red carpets and flashing cameras, some of the biggest stars lived through a very dark reality. Powerful producers and wealthy tycoons controlled careers, manipulated contracts, and sometimes demanded far more than talent in return for fame. Some icons were trapped in deals they couldn't escape, while others stayed silent for decades. In today's video, we uncover 10 Hollywood legends who were caught in the industry's most disturbing power games. The truth behind their fame might shock you. Marilyn Monroe. Few stars symbolize Hollywood glamour like Marilyn Monroe. But behind her dazzling smile was a woman trapped in a brutal studio system. In the 1950s, powerful executives and wealthy businessmen constantly surrounded her, and rumors circulated that studio bosses often pushed her into uncomfortable social situations to please influential investors. Monroe fought for control of her career, even forming her own production company. Yet the pressure, manipulation, and exploitation took a heavy emotional toll. Despite becoming one of the most famous women in history, Monroe often felt powerless in a system that treated her beauty as a commodity rather than respecting her as an artist. Judy Garland. The beloved star of The Wizard of Oz had one of the most tragic stories in Hollywood. As a teenager under contract at MGM, Judy Garland was heavily controlled by studio executives who dictated her weight, appearance, and schedule. Many accounts suggest she was forced to attend parties with powerful figures who had influence over the studio. At the same time, she was given pills to stay awake and others to sleep, creating a devastating cycle of addiction. Garland became a global icon, but the intense control of Hollywood executives over her life left lasting scars that followed her for decades. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth was known as the "love goddess" of the 1940s, but that title came with a heavy price. Studio bosses promoted her image as a fantasy for wealthy men and powerful producers. According to later interviews, she often felt like her public persona belonged more to Hollywood than to herself. Her marriages to powerful men, including international elites, kept her constantly in the spotlight, but they also highlighted how Hollywood marketed her beauty as a prize for powerful figures. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake's mysterious beauty made her a sensation during the 1940s. Yet behind the scenes, she struggled with the harsh expectations of studio executives. The Hollywood system often demanded actresses attend exclusive gatherings where producers and financiers decided their fate. Lake reportedly grew frustrated with the pressure and eventually clashed with the studio system, which contributed to her sudden fall from fame. Jean Harlow, famously known as Hollywood's original blonde bombshell, rose to fame rapidly in the early 1930s. Discovered for her striking looks and undeniable charisma, she was quickly molded into a glamorous star by studio executives who recognized her marketable appeal. Behind the camera, her life was far from glamorous. Powerful producers and wealthy industry tycoons frequently controlled her social and professional interactions. She was often pushed into elite parties and high-profile events to maintain her public image, leaving little room for personal freedom. While audiences adored her charm and sensuality on screen, Harlow's real life was heavily dictated by contracts, studio demands, and the whims of men in power, making her career both dazzling and deeply constrained. Lana Turner's rise to fame began in 1937 when she was famously discovered at a Hollywood soda fountain, instantly launching her into the glittering yet ruthless world of Hollywood. Her extraordinary beauty and screen presence quickly caught the attention of powerful studio executives, who controlled almost every aspect of her career. Turner was often placed in the social circles of wealthy producers, influential businessmen, and top Hollywood figures, many of whom sought to use her fame for their own advantage. The pressure to maintain her public image was relentless, with studios dictating her roles, appearances, and personal associations. Despite becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Turner's life was constantly shaped by the manipulations and demands of those in power, leaving her little true personal freedom. Frances Farmer was a gifted and fiercely independent actress whose talent shone brightly in the 1930s and 1940s. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she refused to conform to Hollywood's strict rules and the controlling demands of studio executives. Her outspoken nature, strong opinions, and refusal to be manipulated quickly made her a target, leading to constant clashes with powerful figures in the industry. Farmer's career soon suffered as she was labeled difficult, and she faced blacklisting, forced hospitalizations, and public scandals that tarnished her reputation. Despite her immense talent, Hollywood's rigid system crushed her spirit, turning her into a cautionary tale of what happens when a star challenges the power of producers and studios. Her story remains one of resilience amidst exploitation. Jayne Mansfield was carefully crafted by Hollywood studios to be the next Marilyn Monroe, emphasizing her bombshell looks, charisma, and bold personality. From the start, powerful producers and studio executives controlled nearly every aspect of her life, from the roles she played to the public events she attended. She was frequently pushed into glamorous publicity stunts, high-profile parties, and elite social circles with influential businessmen and Hollywood insiders, all designed to boost her fame and marketability. While audiences admired her confidence and on-screen charm, behind the scenes Mansfield had little personal freedom. The constant pressure to maintain her image, combined with manipulations by those in power, turned her life into a relentless spectacle, highlighting the darker side of Hollywood's obsession with beauty and fame. Dorothy Dandridge was a trailblazer, becoming one of the first black actresses to be nominated for an Academy Award, a groundbreaking achievement in a segregated Hollywood. Despite her extraordinary talent, charm, and beauty, she faced constant discrimination and systemic barriers that limited her career opportunities. Studio executives and powerful producers dictated which roles she could take, often pushing her toward stereotypical or minor parts rather than leading roles she deserved. Dandridge was also frequently pressured to attend high-profile parties and social events designed to appeal to influential industry figures, leaving her personal life heavily controlled. Even at the height of her fame, she struggled to gain true artistic freedom, making her journey a mix of historic success and heartbreaking exploitation. Ava Gardner's stunning beauty and magnetic presence quickly made her one of Hollywood's most sought-after stars in the 1940s and 1950s. From the very beginning, powerful studio executives controlled almost every aspect of her career, from the roles she was offered to the way she was presented to the public. Gardner was often showcased at lavish parties and exclusive gatherings with wealthy producers, influential businessmen, and top Hollywood figures, many of whom sought to exploit her fame for their own advantage. While she eventually gained more independence and control over her career, her early years in the spotlight were marked by manipulation, relentless pressure, and the constant struggle to maintain her personal freedom in a system dominated by powerful men. Classic Hollywood created legends, but behind the glamour were stories of control, pressure, and power struggles that many stars were forced to endure. These icons entertained millions, yet their personal freedom was often limited by the very industry that made them famous. And the truth is, many more secrets from old Hollywood may still be hidden.